Very good afternoon to all. I hope my voice is now very much, audible, everyone, and I'm visible on the screen. I hope my voice is audible and everything is visible now. Okay. So in this session, we are just going to study about not only the Harappan civilization, but in this session, we are definitely going to be study all about the important features of the Harappan civilization. Why the Harappan civilization is important as not on the perspective of study, but also how the Harappan civilization exactly playing a very important or very vital role in Indian history, specifically in ancient India, right? So whenever we discuss about the civilization, everyone, civilization is a very broad, I think, a very broad word in itself that I always, I think, told you numbers of the time, everyone, that civilization is the somehow a terminology which is declined or which is ended after being time, right? And what we carrying from the civilization, the culture we carrying from the civilization, that we have a very good example of a Mesopotamia, although we have a very good example of a Egyptian civilization, right? So civilization, I think, impacted a lot, which is not telling us that what we are actually, but definitely civilization is explaining us that what is the, the past of the human beings, how we survived earlier, what was the social and the economic aspects of the past time. So this is somehow a very important aspect of the Harappan civilization. Or whenever we discuss about the wholesome of the Harappan civilization in itself, not only a very broad aspect, but also Harappan civilization is considered world largest civilization, where numbers of the people, the numbers of the invaders attack on Harappan civilization, where we definitely seeing the, the vastness of the society, the vastness of the economy, and definitely we have lots of that things to studying in it, right? So why it is important to study about the Harappan civilization? Because whenever you discuss about the mains perspective, the mains, as per the perspective of the mains, these questions are asked number of the times, right, everyone? And why they ask number of the times? They ask number of the times because this is somehow not only the important part, but kyunki you are the part of the, the history optional or being just going to become the part of the administrative services. So definitely you people have a very much good idea about your past sense of scenario, that how the civilization is actually worked, how the culture is exactly worked, right? So you can see everyone, Indus Valley civilization, we can see the Indus Valley civilization, we can the Harappan civilization, and we are just not going to study about the all this thing of civilization. We are going to study in depth, everyone, that how the civilization is exactly working and how the question format of the mains is definitely asked on the questions like Harappan civilization. You can see the question, everyone, that how the question is framing. You can see the question. This question is asked in 2017, everyone, in previous year paper. And this is the question from the mains examination 2017. And first of all, it is very important in the answer writing part. Whenever you are going to start the answer, first of all, it is very important to create a very good understanding, not only with the question, but surely whenever you try to be find out the question, you have to be checked about the whole approach of the question, that what the question is exactly want to say you. So first of all, did Harappan civilization have any link to other major civilization and distant lands? First of all, so it is very important to understand the question formatting of the question, that what the question is exactly want to ask you. Harappan civilization have any link? That Harappan civilization, when we start to studying Harappan civilization in depth, definitely we have a numbers of the examples. The evidence that we found from Mesopotamian, that evidence that we found from Egyptian civilization, But definitely, when we are just going to study about the Harappan civilization, the link up of the civilization, surely, and definitely we are just not only studying about the civilization of Harappa, but surely we are going to study about the Mesopotamia, the Egyptian civilization, and how the connectivity with the trade and how the connectivity of the social and the economic aspect flourished, not only I think 2 year or 3 year, but also moreover half of the decade, surely we can say that they are surviving with the economic and when the trade and commerce connection of the Mesopotamia and the Egyptian civilization that we found later on in the Harappan civilization, right? So what about the other major civilization? Major civilization in the distant land. So how can we cover the distant land, everyone? It is very important to understand that only the whenever you study about the connectivity of distance land, the economy and the trade and the commerce is the only part. In that way, you can only connect with the distance lands. And what are the findings that point towards such as the possibilities? So in this lecture, everyone, we will try to recognize that how the Harappan civilization exactly connected with the Mesopotamian civilization and how the Mesopotamian people completely connected with the Egyptian civilization and how the three of the civilization representing themselves as the vast civilization, not only the aspects of economic, not only the aspects of cultural, but surely we are not only, but surely we are going to studying about the social, economic, and the cultural, the religious, the political, the administrative, and we will try to be connect the Harappan civilization and the features of the Harappan civilization. Like whenever we discuss about the town planning, the drainage system, we have a numerous of the parts that we want to studying with it. Fine. So this is somehow very important aspect. So this is all about the approach, everyone. The question, what the question is exactly you want to ask. Before going to jump on the session, everyone, and I think I already elaborating you the important features of the civilization, and I already giving you the whole sum of the introduction that what we really want to study and what we really want to discuss in the further rest of the session. So before going to start the session, everyone, I would like to just introduce with the session with the our Exampur Sarkari Naukri app, and in this slide you can definitely see this, everyone, the different steps to download not only the Exampur app. Step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4. That first of all, you just go on the Play Store, write down the Exampur Sarkari Naukri Preparation app. Later on, you can surely install the app, and later on, surely you can just log in with the WhatsApp and log in with the your mobile registration number, and surely later on you can surely you can discuss with your friends, and definitely everyone, you can just not only this app is not only beneficial to everyone because you are just preparing for the government exam, but surely it will help you, everyone, to connect with the faculties, the teachers. You can ask your doubts on the Zoom meetings. You can connect with our calling team. You can ask about the paid batches and the running batches. And surely you can ask about the upcoming and the YouTube sessions. And this app is just showing you, everyone, the sort on the glance about that what we are just doing a better better things for you, right? So this is somehow very important feature, and we can say very important app for the students who are preparing for the further examination for their we can say that their government exams, right? So before going to start the session, everyone, it is very important to understand that what is the meaning of the civilization and what we really want to understand with the word like civilization. Okay. So you can see that what is civilization. Actually, the word civilization comes from the Latin word of townsman or the citizens and the civis, and its adjective form like civilius, right? Civils. To be civilized, essential meant, we can say, being a townsman, governed by the constitution and the legal status of the community. Exactly. See, earlier I already discussed about the meaning like community when we start to defining ourselves with the particular religion or the tradition that we have this type of a community, we have this type of a community, we are belong from this community, we are belong from Hindu, we are belong from a Muslim community. So we have a lots of, we can say that, lots of identification that we want to representing ourselves with the help of the meaning of the community, right? So it is very important to understand the meaning of a civilization is coming from a Latin word, And civilization, it means somehow is teaching us the way of life and what we have actually. This is somehow a particular definition of the civilization, right? कि हमारे पास पहले क्या था और हमने उससे क्या क्या सीखा है. This is somehow a very particular definition of civilization. And what is civilization, everyone? Culture and civilization are two terms. Surely we can say that. Culture and the civilization. See, this is a very important to understand that how we can correlate with two of the terms with the civilization, where culture is representing that the things is completely connected with each other, and culture is still we are pertaining with the civilization कि जो हमने उससे लिया है उसको हम अभी भी continue कर रहे हैं. And what about the civilization is somehow a meaning which is completely ended later on. So that's why we have a very good example like Egyptian, we have a very good example of Mesopotamian and the Harappan civilization. And what about interchangeably? कैसे आप इसको बदल सकते हैं? Surely the stagnation of the civilization is going to be end after being time. But whenever you discuss about the meaning like culture, it will never ever ended over, right? And how you can connect it, the culture representing what we are, right? Culture क्या है जो अभी हमारे पास है, that the way we are living, the way the clothes that we are wearing, the food that we are taking, this is somehow representing कि हम कहाँ से हैं. For example, if I am giving the glance of the example like Manipur and if giving the example of a South India, I am giving the glance of the culture of the North India. Surely I think it's very easy to identify everyone that the community belong from which particular part. The South Indian, they belong from South India, they belong from the North India, or they belong from the Manipur, right? So what culture is, what that food culture, the dressing sense, the way we are the language that we are using is representing somehow the meaning of a culture. But whenever we discuss about the civilization is said कि जो था हमारे पास, that we have already. सभ्यता क्या है? If you come whenever you try to be connect the Harappan civilization with the present time, everyone, surely you can just discuss about the town planning, that we have a very good example of a town planning. Not only the Harappan civilization, later on the slides, surely I will discuss about the town planning of the Mesopotamia. So what we have exactly, what we learning from the civilization like Harappan, Egyptian and Mesopotamian, we learn about the town planning, we learn about the drainage system, we learn about lots of things, that religion that we have earlier, that how we are just surviving, how can we push ourselves in the further geographical continent, why the lots of the how the civilization is completely just make themselves more stagnant on the places of the rivers and the rest of the parts of the other learning phases, right? And what about the okay, culture represents the end and values and goals. कल्चर क्या करता है? रिप्रेजेंटिंग कि हमारे वैल्यूज क्या है. अगर हम दिवाली दशहरा मनाते, दिस इज समहाउ आवर वैल्यूज. एंड हमारा गोल क्या है? इफ आई एम आस्किंग यू पीपल दैट व्हाट यू अंडरस्टैंड बाय द गोल्स ऑफ द कल्चर, श्योरली इट इज डिफाइनिंग यू एवरीवन द एम्स ऑफ द कल्चर, कि आपका अपने कल्चर का एम क्या है, राइट? सिविलाइजेशन रिप्रेजेंट द टूल्स एंड टेक्निक्स कि कैसे हमें फ्लरिश करना है. फिर इफ आई एम गिविंग द एग्जांपल ऑफ अ टाउन प्लानिंग सिस्टम, if I am giving the example of a citadel system, if I am giving the example of a drainage system, so we have a tools, we have a techniques. And why the rest of the people like Indus civilization, why they are just try to be make the all the towns on the two part of the section, the upper part and the lower part, and the help in the achieving the end, कि हमें last में हमने क्या achieve किया, what we exactly achieved from our end. Right, I already explained about it, everyone, how you can download that. So what about the Indus Valley civilization, everyone? Indus Valley civilization, called the Indus Valley civilization, Harappan civilization, was a Bronze Age civilization that we don't have any idea of the iron as well, everyone, and flourished the northern region. That's why we started to correlate, everyone, with the Indus. We cannot forget about Ravi, Chenab, Jhelum, Satluj, right? And Indian subcontinent between 2500 to 1750 BC. And why we are mentioning the particular time phase of 2500 to 17 BC? Because in this particular flourished period, we are surely discussing about the urbanization of the Harappan civilization. And it is a part of a Chalcolithic age. That means that these people were not aware about iron. Surely and why the absence of the iron, that we are just we surely get know about the absence of the iron in the Indus Valley civilization, but definitely how the people just completely, I think moreover the 90% of the people, 90% of the people, they completely very good afternoon Tulsi. 90% of the people, they completely based they completely dependent on the agriculture. And we have a very good examples like Lothal. We have a very good example of a Dholavira, Rakhi Gadi, Banavli in Haryana. So that's, we have a lots of examples there. Definitely we can get the idea कि लोगों का जो survival of the fittest था, they are definitely dependent on the agriculture, right? So why whenever we discuss about the reasons कि हमारे पास iron नहीं है, so how can we survive without the help of the ब्रॉन्ज और विद द कॉपर? अगर आपने मैप को बहुत ध्यान से देखा होगा, यू कैन नॉट फॉरगेट अबाउट द लोअर गैंगेटिक रीजन विच इज ऑलरेडी वेरी मच फर्टाइल. और सिर्फ यहीं पर ही नहीं, लेटर ऑन नंबर्स ऑफ द रीजन दे लेटर ऑन बी बिकम द पार्ट ऑफ द क्राउड ऑफ द पर्टिकुलर सेक्शन, बिकॉज वहां पे आपको बहुत ज्यादा हार्डवर्क करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती थी. फाइन. Now you can see the map, everyone. I think the question that I already elaborate you about the connectivity of the Indus Valley civilization, the connectivity of the Egyptian civilization and the Mesopotamian civilization. I think this map is clear you, I think very much of the things that how the map is not only just showing you the coverage of the distance, but definitely this map is trying to be mention you that how the central India, how the Indus Valley civilization, the western part of India specifically, the part of the Dholavira, Gujarat, we can say that, and Maharashtra we have, the Kochi, Kerala, and the rest of the part of the Arabian Sea, how they are completely connected with each other. And the Lothal is not only the part of the, this is somehow the picture of a Lothal that we definitely is visible to everyone. So surely you can connect how the Lothal is become later on a very prominent part of the economic sources, right? How is it possible? क्योंकि वहां पर सिर्फ लोथल ही नहीं, we have already I think in the rest of the parts, whenever we try to be discuss about the Harappan civilization in a very vast manner, we have a more of the options की चीजें कैसे connected होकर बाहर निकल रही हैं. And why later on the Gujarat, the Kutch of Gujarat and the part of the Lothal later on become the part of export and import. And surely you can connect with the help of the Arabian Sea that the Lothal is surely doing the trade not only with the help of Arabian Sea, but definitely later on we found numbers of the sources like grains, wheat, rice in the Mesopotamia culture and the Egyptian culture. And one more thing that I would like to mention there about the Zen Avesta, the Iranian epic. They are mentioned about the economic expansion, about the social expansion, and definitely they are mentioning about the connectivity of the rest of the culture. Rigvedic culture की अगर बात की जाती है, so we have a interlinked disciplinary areas जिससे कि हम disconnectivity नहीं बना सकते. And this interlinked disciplined area surely mention about the connectivity of rest of the parts of the civilization, either the Egyptian civilization, either the Mesopotamia, or either the Persian people. And Central Asia, you can see how it is completely correlated with everything. The Lothal, Dholavira, Amra, we have Rangpur later on, which is completely considered as the most ancient, I think, evidences that we found of the rice and the wheat as well. So you can surely connectivity, you can surely see the connectivity with the Mesopotamia and the Egyptian. And whenever we discuss about the religious connectivity with the Mesopotamia and the Indus Valley civilization, we cannot forget about the symbols like swastik that we still found, that we still, just very much used to making the symbols like swastik that we found from the Mesopotamia, that we found from the Iranian culture as well. So that's why surely we can not only connect the civilization. एक ये चीज भी होती है कि हाउ कैन यू सर्वाइव alone. It is not possible actually. I think in my lectures I numbers of the time I already mentioned about the interdisciplinary approach, right? कि कोई भी अगर ऐसी चीज है, it is never ever survive without the interdisciplinary approach, which is showing you how can you dependent on each other for your survival. Your society can never be survive without your economy. That's why whenever we discuss about the connectivity of the different civilization that we earlier discussed in the question, surely the Mesopotamian and the Iranian civilization, or we have a Egyptian civilization, or the Harappan, the world biggest and the oldest civilization that we got in India, they cannot survive without the without the interdisciplinary approaches, or without the self connectivity with anything. And how is it possible actually? Because we already got number of the evidences that we completely similar, that we found in Indus, that we found in Mesopotamia, that we already found in the Egyptian civilization. Fine. Now, and it is discovery of 20th century is one of the most, I think, enthralling event in the history. In 1853, Cunningham, a British engineer who became a great excavator, noticed Harappan seal. The seal showed about the bull, the 6 written letters. I think in the yesterday session, the day before yesterday's session, I already mentioned about the numbers of the seals. When I already discussed about the lost Harappan civilization, how the civilization declined actually. I already showing you, I think, number of the alphabets, everyone, on the 6 alphabets that we found on the seals that we got in the Harappan civilization. And I think, unfortunate, we are not still able to read out all this alphabets that we found in the found on the seals. So this is completely, we can say, the different scenario. और अगर हमें बहुत सारी चीजों के बारे में पता चल जाता है, if we will become succeeded later on to understand, to read out all the alphabets, surely definitely we can understand the Harappan civilization and the connectivity of the Mesopotamian civilization. We can definitely find out more and more interesting things from the Harappan, and definitely we can we will just get the answer questions, answers of all these things कि भाई चीजें कैसे कैसे खत्म होती हैं. हमें हर एक क्वेश्चन का जो आंसर है definitely we will get later on. You can see the map again, which is completely based on the old world civilization. I think the Chinese, the Mesopotamian, the Egyptian, we have moreover the 4 prominent civilizations that we find in the very, the similar basis, that we can surely discuss about the Chinese civilization. We will discuss surely about the Indus Valley civilization, and you can definitely discuss about the Mesopotamian civilization and the Egyptian civilization. And we cannot forget about the connectivity with the sea. अगर मैं यहाँ पर बे ऑफ बंगाल की बात कर रही हूँ, otherwise if I discuss about the Arabian Sea, or if I discuss about the Mesopotamian, the Persian Gulf. Persian Gulf is showing somehow the connectivity with the Egyptian and the Mesopotamia, and the Arabian Sea is definitely showing the connectivity with the Mesopotamian and the Indian Indus Valley. And surely whenever we discuss about the China, we cannot forget about the Bay of Bengal, which is showing the connectivity with the Indus Valley civilization and the Chinese civilization. So definitely whenever we discuss about the the important and the prominent words like civilization, surely you cannot forget about what? You cannot forget about the connectivity with the rivers, that how the rivers are exactly playing a very important role to not only connect the civilization, but definitely they are dependent. They are showing the dependency of the people, that the people cannot survive alone, and if they cannot survive alone, so what is happened later on? The connectivity of the people, the connectivity of the society, the trade, the commerce, the culture, this is all happened. This is all just going ahead just because of the connectivity with the Arabian Sea, the Persian Gulf. We have a Bay of Bengal, so that's why we are surely discussing about the rest of the discussion, the prominent discussion, the features, we can say that about rest of the part of the civilization. कि अगर हमारे पास connectivity ही नहीं होगी, so how can you survive easily without dependent on each other? Okay. So you can see everyone, the Mesopotamian civilization. Civilization are complex societies with the cities, right? And governments, because whenever we discuss about the Indus Valley civilization, everyone, Indus Valley civilization in itself is a very vast civilization, and definitely Indus Valley civilization is also known as the urban civilization, where we have evidences of the markets, where we have evidences of markets, trade and commerce, so that we have a very much good evidences of it. And rivers were used for travel, trade, and made good farming conditions, right? And that's why numbers of the civilization that we already discussed about the Egyptian, the Persian Gulf, we discuss about the Mesopotamian, the Arabian Sea, and whenever we discuss about the India, it is somehow flourished till the Chinese civilization, which is completely connected with the Bay of Bengal, and not only traveled, trade, and made good farming condition, but surely these things are showing the vastness and the in-depthness of the any of the civilization. And definitely I think this is somehow a very important playing role, that you cannot forget about Iran. And we cannot forget about whole of the Mesopotamian civilization, that how it is completely connected, showing the connectivity with the each other. Now, ancient Mesopotamia, Assyria, we have Akkad, Babylonia, and Sumeria. Uruk, we can say that Uruk. This is definitely connected with the Indus Valley civilization. Connectivity with the Indus Valley civilization. Fine. So this is a very important part of any of the civilization, that how they are connected easily with each other. Tigris River we have, so this is somehow showing the connectivity of it. So let's move ahead on the Indus civilization, and let me discuss some of the important features of Indus Valley civilization, that how exactly it is important to everyone to know, not only discuss about as per the need of the the examination approach, but ये बहुत important है that you have a very good understanding with the Indus Valley civilization, which is needed as per your examination point of view. In 1921, moreover in the 20th century, everyone, in Indian archaeological Dayaram Sahani, and started to excavating the site of the Harappa in the Montgomery district of the West Punjab, and the civilization is also called Harappan civilization. And because the civilization was discovered in 1921, the modern site of the Harappan situated in the province of the Punjab in the Pakistan. So after that division, 1947, completely this is considering as the part of the Pakistan now. And this you can see everyone the connectivity with the Pakistan and the India. And this is your Harappan civilization that we're discussing about, the main prominent Harappan civilization. And definitely you can connect it with the Indus River, and that's why that I earlier told you that how the rivers are exactly playing a very prominent role in everywhere. And what about the Pakistan? You can say the Mohenjo-daro is also the part of the Pakistan later on, in Larkana Jilla district in Pakistan. Amri we have, Makrana coast, Karachi we have, Chahandro, Kodiji, you can see that. And definitely you cannot forget about the Indus River, which is not only flourished in the Indian itself, but definitely it is also try to be connect the rest of the parts of the Indus with each other. And what about the Satluj, everyone? You can see that Ghaggar, we have already, Ravi we have. So we have a numerous of the names, and Kalibanga in Rajasthan. So definitely you can see that how the rest of the Indian western part and how the northwest part of the Indian subcontinent connected with each other. And the dotted point, you can say that the cities, so Sudgorda we have, Harappan we have, Karachi we have, Kodiji, Chahandro, Amri, Mohenjo-daro, right? These are the market place where you can easily connect it with each other. And whenever we discuss about the the definition of the market as per the the part of the civilization, that how the market are playing a very important role to make or to help to uplift the civilization a lot. So definitely we cannot forget about that market is not definitely help कि लोग उसके आसपास बसे, बल्कि श्योरली हम ये कह सकते हैं कि मार्केट इज ऑलवेज हेल्पफुल फॉर एवरीवन टू एक्सपैंड मोर. यू कैन डू मोर ट्रेड, यू कैन डू मोर कॉमर्स, यू कैन डू more export and import, and definitely these things are surely showing the connectivity with each other, that how the people are exactly connected with each other, how you can connect the long distance parts with each other. So that's why you cannot forget about the connectivity with the Harappa with the Mohenjo-daro with Iran, and the Mohenjo-daro and the Harappa with the Mesopotamia with the Egyptian civilization. See, we have already very much lots of the evidences. You can see everyone the seals that I discussed earlier. See, we have already 6 alphabets that we are you can see on the screen, everyone. And these alphabets that still we are not deciphered at least. But how the seals are exactly important, how the seals are exactly showing a the importance of the seal, because definitely seals are showing the connectivity with anything, कि बहुत कुछ जानने को मिलता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ आई एम डिस्कसिंग अबाउट द कॉइन, तो इसका कितना परसेंट चांस है कि कोई भी राजा कॉइन्स को क्यों फ्लरिश या पब्लिश करवाता है? व्हाई? See, you can see the image of the block cart on the seal, so surely it is definitely everyone showing the connectivity, how the agriculture, was not only the part of the survival of the Harappan, the Mesopotamia, and the Egyptian civilization, but definitely the correlation of the animals like bullock cart, the ox, we can say that the pet animals we have, definitely they are showing that how the agriculture is not only prominent, but moreover 90% of the people, and the importance of the bullock carts and the importance of the ox and the cow is completely prominent and important in the Harappan civilization. That's why this civilization is somehow complete, considered as a complete civilization or the urban civilization. Now you can see a very close picture, everyone, of the Harappan civilization, which is showing you that how the the important marketplaces like Mohenjo-daro, or the important places like marketplaces, how they're completely connected with each other, and how the town planning, we can say that how the bifurcation of the town planning is connected with each other, and how the connectivity is showing the moreover correlation with everything. Right. What about the Indus Valley civilization? See, I think I already explained everyone. The general supervision of John Marshall after that, the excavation of the Banerjee, the participation, we cannot forget about the John Marshall. And what about the intakes and indicating that Banerjee and John Marshall is showing the representation of the, the civilization with the help of the artifacts. And MS Works excavated the Harappan in 1940, while Timur Wheeler excavated same site in 1946. So you can the time the people that are spending in the excavation of the whole of the civilization from 1921 till the time of 1946. So surely you can just see that moreover the 50 years the time that they are spending to not only exploring the whole of the the excavation, the exploring the antiques, but definitely the spending of the moreover 50 years just representing the history of moreover the 500 years, right? So this is such a very prominent civilization for us. You can see the artifacts, everyone, on the screen, that how the artifacts are completely connected with each other. Again, definitely you can see the connectivity of it, and how the connectivity with the bullock carts, the connectivity of the artifacts with related with each other, that people have a very a much keen observer, and they were already very good idea about the artifacts that they are making on the pots, we can say on the pottery. So we have a numerous of the knowledge of everything of the civilization. And Harappan civilization, as was a bronze civilization that I already explained you, the northwest region of southeast expanding from the today's northeast Afghanistan to Pakistan and northwest India, it was one of the oldest civilization of the world. And what about the Mesopotamian civilization, everyone? How it is completely connected? Was a historical region situated in the Tigris, Euphrates river, and today's most of the Iraq plus Kuwait, we can say the eastern part of the Syria, the southeast of the Turkey and the regions along the Turkey, Syria, and the Iran and Iraq, that we have a very good example of then the West, everyone. And it was also one of the oldest civilization of the world, like Indus. So you can see the connectivity somehow, that Harappan civilization, which is not only connected the northwest and the northeast part of we can see the Southeast Asia, northwestern part of India as well. This is not the connectivity of the Harappan civilization. But whenever we discuss about the world oldest civilization like Mesopotamia, surely it is showing the connectivity with the we have a Tigris, Euphrates, we have a Kuwait, Southeast Asia, Iran, Iraq, part of rest of the part of the northwest section. So surely this is also just not only flourished till the limited part, but surely it is showing the vast significance and importance of the civilization, how it is exactly flourished, and what are the factors behind it for its flourishness. Now, geographical extent that I already mentioned you, the earliest excavation in the Indus Valley were done at Harappa in the West Punjab and Mohenjo-daro in the Sindh, Pakistan, Larkana district. And whenever we discuss about the southward and the covering parts of the Punjab, Haryana, Sindh, Balochistan, Gujarat, Rajasthan, and it extends from the Shivalik in the north to the Arabian Sea, right, and Makrana coast of Balochistan in the west of the Meerut to the northeast. I think I already mentioned the map. You can see the Arabian Sea, and here we are discussing about the mature Harappan sites. So these are the sites. If I'm just taking the name of a Kalibanga, Ropad, Rojadi, we have Kodiji, we have Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Banavali, Rakhigadi, Kalibanga, Dholavira, we have Lothal, we have. So we have a numerous of the places, I feel so, which is completely flourished or expanded in the mature Harappan phases, where the the export and import, the establishments of the markets, the connectivity of the other civilization, and the connectivity of the people with each other on the regions, on the national, on the international level, is definitely flourish. Why it is flourish? Because the importance of the agriculture is going to be conveyed later on, that it is somehow playing a very prominent and very important role in it, right? Now let's move ahead. Okay, now geographical extent, everyone. Other important sites are Kodiji, and in Sindh, Kalibanga, we can say Rajasthan, Ropad, Punjab, Banavali in Haryana. We have numerous of the parts in the Harappan civilization, and it is a somehow very prominent, very important light that you can see on the screen, everyone. That no civilization of the contemporary period, contemporary period means what? Contemporary period means the same similar emergence of the civilization like Egyptian and the Mesopotamian was the larger as the Harappan civilization, right? Okay, so this is the time of the comparison, everyone, that how the Indus Valley civilization is completely similar as the Mesopotamian civilization and what it represents actually. You can see on the screen. First of all, we are just going to discuss about the political and we can say the political and the economic comparisons in the Mesopotamia or in the, we can say, the Harappan civilization. So what is the political? Let me discuss about the Mesopotamian. Mesopotamian, Egyptian and the Indus Valley civilization all developed along with what? Along with the river systems where they were assured and the adequate water supply for agriculture. So what is happened there? Whenever we discuss about the agriculture, right? Whenever we discuss about the economic benefit of anything, surely we can define that 90% of the population were completely based on the agriculture. And whenever we discuss about Indus Valley civilization, whenever we discuss about Mesopotamian civilization, and whenever we discuss about the Egyptian civilization, this is a very important and playing a very prominent role. And the rivers, the Mesopotamian and the Egyptian, when they completely, flourish on the Tigris River, when they completely connected with Persian Gulf, with the Arabian Sea, they are not only showing that the representation of the expansion of the civilization, but the role of the agriculture is playing a very prominent role in three of the civilization, that how they completely flourish the trade and the commerce and everything. They are all developed political structures, right? For organization of labor of provide irrigation systems. See, whenever we discuss about the political structure, in yesterday's session that I already explained to everyone, that in the Harappan civilization, we never ever find out any type of the terminologies like the political administration, the ministers, and the, we can say, the king, the empire, the monarch. But surely, whenever we discuss about the flourishness of the civilization, which is completely, existing more over the 10,000 years, the Harappan, the Egyptian, and the Iranian, and the, we can say, the Mesopotamian, these are the civilization. It is not only expanded because of the civilization, not only expanded because of the agriculture, but definitely whenever we discuss about the social, the political, the cultural, the religious, the administrative, and the political part of the three of the civilization, surely we cannot imagine the the expanded existing civilization survive without any of the control. That's why in the Harappan civilization, that's why in the Mesopotamian civilization, we find numbers of the sculptures and the statues in the excavations, not only the priest but the person who always caring and try to be showing the superiorness in front of the people कि वो तुमसे ज़्यादा powerful है. And that's why the whole of the society, that's why the whole of the town planning is conveyed or existing in section of the two parts, the upper part and the lower part. That's why somewhere we got the definitions like gateway. That's why the people are somewhere emerging themselves in the agriculture, and that's why the people are definitely representing themselves, not only the part of the society, not only the part of the agriculture, but definitely they have a right to representing themselves in different parts of the religious perspectives as well. Fine. Irrigation system. Why we are discussing about the irrigation system? कि भाई इतना बड़ा जो Mesopotamian, Egyptian and Harappan civilization है, we are definitely looking for the system, right? The whole of the civilization that exactly flourished till the time phase of 500 years, 5,000 years. The whole of the civilization never ever survive on the the weather aspects कि बारिश होगी तभी हम agriculture करेंगे, right? It is not possible actually. So what we are looking for irrigation facilities and system, and how the irrigation system and the flourishness of the system is completely dependent and expanded when the any of the powerful person, even the monarch, even the king, even the priest, even the somehow the powerful social person who are looking the importance of the agriculture, and they are definitely looking the people who are merging themselves in the एग्रीकल्चर की इन्हें भी सिस्टम्स के थ्रू या इरिगेशन सिस्टम को जो प्रोवाइड करना वो हमारे लिए ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट और नेसेसरी है. एंड किंगशिप डेवलप्ड एज द पॉलिटिकल लीडरशिप सिस्टम. किंगशिप डेवलप्ड श्योरली with the help of political leadership system. Both the Egyptian and the Mesopotamian through the Egyptian kings were believed what to do the divine in the origin, while Mesopotamia rulers were not. So what they are showing, Egyptian and the Mesopotamian through Egyptian king, that they are looking for the leadership, but what we are believe actually to be divine origin, while the Mesopotamian rulers were not. कि Mesopotamian rulers इतने ज्यादा जो beneficial या powerful नहीं थे, that we are showing earlier as the rest of the part of the people like Harappan civilization and the people like we have a Egyptian civilization. We don't have any that we do not found any of the evidences of the monarch, of the king, or the person like a priest in the Mesopotamian and the Egyptian that we found earlier in the Harappan civilization. Now, you can see the comparison, everyone, that how the Harappan civilization is completely showing the comparison with the Mesopotamian, and how both are very showing the prominency in existing civilization. Say it was ruled by a king. It is completely clear that we have already evidences of the kings. Whenever we discuss about the Harappan civilization, it is completely ruling by the traders, ruling by the group of the traders, because the whole of the 95% of the population is completely based on the agriculture, and to pursuing the agriculture, to using the benefit of the agriculture, surely we are dependent on the the trade and the commerce. And we can rammed earth technique were used to make the cities. This is also very important part. And the baked bricks were used to make the cities, because this was the first evidence that we got in the Harappan civilization. And they did not have standardized weights. That we don't have any standardized weights, and they use the standardized weights. And canal system was in a practice, everyone. With the help of a canal system, surely they can go ahead with the good irrigation culture, irrigations, and the other part of the sections. And they were rich in metals like gold and copper, etc. And they were rich, and they had to be import a good for it for another northern access of Afghanistan, Gujarat, and etc. So this is such a very important part of it. Okay, and in the last, everyone, I would just like to inform you about the Mantra NCERT batch, and you can surely use this batch for your further benefits by using the 50% code. This is showing the numbers of the benefits, everyone, about all these things, about your question answer practice, and you can definitely connect with us on the Zoom meetings. And definitely you can get moreover 525 PDFs, classes, and daily study planning. And we have a numerous very presentable faculty that you are showing the path that how you can crack your paper, everyone. So you can surely download your Exampur app with your mobile number and with your email ID, and you can choose your later on the preparation part of the further government exam preparation. We have a numerous of the examples of the you can pay different modes with the UPI and the Google payments. And you can surely take the demo, everyone, if you are not very much satisfied that how the faculty is working actually. So you can go ahead with the demo classes. You can just get the demo classes to make sure that you are going to become later on a very important taking the initiative of the Exampur, and this is such a very important initiative which is taken by Exampur for the students who were not able to prepare further for your the high cost of the exam like UPSC. We are just giving the whole course in the 2000 for 1 year. 1 year fulfillment times. This is such a very important part of the preparation, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. We will meet sharp tomorrow at 1 p.m. where we'll discuss lots of the things about everything. Don't forget to join me at 1 p.m. tomorrow, everyone.